What you do so that is, you can go, you can go to the team, exactly, shake hands, and then we can start this first final. And use the last minutes for the official start to ask you guys in the crowd, who is going to be on the first day of the competition? Who will be on the second day? On the third day? On the fourth day? On the fifth day? On the sixth day? And who is cheering for you? Who is supporting for Malaysia? And now into the crowd. Who is cheering for all kids who love the sport? Let's do this together, right?
Hello everyone, welcome to the Dodgeball World Championships here in Graz, Austria. The Raiffeisen Sports Park is the host to the gold medal day. Terry Thrasher here with you, bringing the first gold medal match of the day. We've got Team USA and Team Malaysia having fought their way here as good as anybody else's so far in this tournament.
Yeah, you can't make it to the grand final at the World Championships if you're not good at all of the things.
Yeah.
And we are about to start. You see Barbeau testing the rush. Perez testing the strike. They're getting a feel for this floor.
That's right. And it sounds almost silly, but I mean, just knowing exactly how much grip your shoes are going to find on the floor, how much slide you're going to get when you go down to the knee pads, that stuff can't actually matter. It can throw you off if you don't have a good sense of it. So I like the players testing this stuff out.
Oh, it is incredibly important. I remember playing in 2017, they had put a ton of tape down on the floor to remove the color of the lines for viewership. They used a paper tape, and suddenly I wasn't able to slide at all. It completely changed my ability to dodge and how I was approaching that game. And so very rightful of the players to find that adjustment, see what they can rely on.
And we're going to get to see how that rush goes pretty much right away here. These players are off, and the rush taken out initially by Team USA. A return shot from Team Malaysia, so 1 for 1, almost exactly what you'd expect. Wow, another strike right away. 2 more. Team USA comes out firing hard. But Malaysia, they have taken USA down to 4. USA chants already starting from their bank of fans off in the stands. Malaysia with the attack. They get through onto Barbeau. Both of these teams hitting incredibly quickly.
Both captains for each team still on the court.
Oh, big hit up high. You see Dylan Clark-Oden roll off the court.
As a powerful shot to the head.
So we saw some misdirection from Captain Gunting, and now he's defense for his teammates, but Simos and Hashimoto, 2 of the star young guns on this American team.
Hashimoto 100% having a phenomenal game in order to bring the comeback against Canada yesterday in the semifinal. He looked fantastic there. I'm sure we're going to see lots from him today.
Yeah, he anchored that comeback. They were down 3-1 at one point and won, I think, 8-3. So huge efforts from him. But you see some great pressure, just keeping them back. Team Malaysia doesn't give up any ground.
They don't. And one more thing I want to point out. Hashimoto made a finger grab catch on Jason Merkler.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's insane hand-eye coordination.
Oh, and we've got a center line Looks like Jack Au has been called out, trying to use all the space to close the distance, but there's a counter shot. Hashimoto taking out Simos, takes out Huang, but he's returned upon. Gunting secures point number 1 for Team Malaysia. That was some quick fire stuff, finishing each other off at the end there.
That was a scrappy point, whittling down each other's numbers the entire way.
They're probably going to get real retired after this tournament.
Team USA had some great moments in that one, and Gunting just the last one left standing at the very end. And a hush falls over the crowd while we await point number 2 to begin. Right, stepping into things right away, that first ball missing as Pham takes the first shot. Oh, there's a great shot. Perez with that left-handed delivery. He gets through this time on Evan Lee. He doesn't miss often.
And Lee has been one of the biggest arms on the Malaysian team. Very reliable. Been getting lots of hits.
Okay, Barbo couldn't quite tuck those hands back in, so it's a hit. I think that was Huang's ball. All right, we get still a bit of conversation happening here. I didn't see what initiated that conversation.
I didn't either. There was a great team throw. And after that,
oh, Giovenco just gets a catch, gets a hit. It's a big +2 out of him.
yes, Ao makes an aggressive shot at Hashimoto, hoping he could take that, maybe get traded, but he doesn't. Hashi with the great block. You see Huang just survive that volley.
Yeah, one of those balls just bent just away from him, like it didn't quite want to touch him. Sometimes the best dodge is the still dodge. Again, good low movement. Long try from Huang. Return coverage from Hashimoto. And Shota Barbo just surviving that one as he falls back gracefully, maybe? Long attacks getting through this time, though. They take out Huang.
And the United States invest 3, which is an aggressive decision, but makes total sense. And they close the point there. If you can invest 3 and make sure you hit your target on a 2v whatever, suddenly you're in a 1v4, 1v5, 1v6 in this case.
Here looking back, we see some of those early hits off into the corner. We see that early shot taking out Barbo as well. We'll let you know that off the rush right now. You see another hit by Team USA. They've had the just slightly better rush play. Lets them start off these points with a slight player edge, but Malaysia, I mean, they fire right back.
Malaysia coming up with 4.
There's another great hit. Evan Lee, like you said, one of the big arms taking out Simos this time.
And Terry, I think you've mentioned this, but the Malaysian team often liking to throw 1. Oh, and wow.
Ooh, it's a flurry. Look at how quickly the number of players has been carved down.
Into a 3v3.
Captain Gunting, the target there, and a follow-on shot from Hashimoto, doing that thing where right after you get one hit, trying to find another immediately.
Now we see Pham in a 1v3, but he has 5 balls.
GAE Pham sending one in, just missing Hashimoto there. Coverage from Barbo. That's a good block. Pham pops up, lets it go. Return shots coming in. Team Malaysia still surviving. I think that ball bounced before it got to Clark Oden. Looks like they do confirm. So it's still a 3-on-1. Close calls everywhere. Barbo thought he had the hits. Hashimoto takes a shot. Pham's still out there though and still firing. He backs up now. He's got the castle ball. He sends it over to the side.
And he connects on Barbeau. You see Pham is not afraid to come up and close the distance. He feels confident in his survivability.
And the ability to send those shots from long range important, but then Team USA, of course, they can send them just as well. They finally do take him down and secure the point for the American side.
And as I was trying to say before everything got exciting, something we'll often see from
Maybe why he missed just what happened there.
I certainly missed what happened, so very likely.
And Clark Oden's going to sit out again after getting grazed, trying to hop over that ball. Good cross attempt there. Lee having now switched over to the other corner.
Likely to match up with Hashimoto.
Oh, big hit coming through. Pham doing well to get that ball low on Isidro Perez.
And Pham, you can see, had so much more power in that shot than he did when he was in his 1B whatever scenario, because he could fully rush into that and his mechanics just fully came through.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to actually drive your back foot forward and push the ball out, making a difference. Oh, there's a great throw again. Man, these players are hitting more than they're missing.
Lots of accuracy on both teams. That's why they're here in this final.
Oh, it's a center line. Ow. Heads off to the side. He got some great bend on that ball, but at the cost of a toe on the center. That shot toward Gunting, I think bouncing first. Hashimoto still a sentinel out there for his side.
And they're potentially discussing if there was a hit. Gunting confirmed safe.
Yeah, I think Hashimoto also indicating that it looked safe to him. All right, teams coming back in off the back line. Barbo and Gunting trying shots right away. Good patience by Gunting, but he does miss it. Hashimoto goes low. Simos tries to close the distance. Somehow everybody's still in it.
You see a lot of players not wanting the pocket even though they're in close range. They know that these players can catch, and unfortunately that causes everyone to just miss.
Well, that's just it. When you're point blank, you don't want to put it right into the middle. Give them the chance for that catch when you had them dead to rights. Okay, there's one. Shota Barbo not able to get over that ball, so that's another great hit by Pham out of the corner. Now with that player edge, Malaysia often uses it to disguise the plan. Simos and Hashimoto have been out there together before. Oh, Simos, that comes close, but he almost dodged into that a little bit. Nice try by Hashimoto. Gunting was ready.
And we have a perfect view of Hashimoto's throw. It almost always curves dramatically to the right at the end.
Well, that ball getting through. Xander Simos beautifully places it low under the blocker on Pham.
Yeah, Pham showing his respect, raising his finger, saying, that got me.
Balls collide in the air. Nothing comes of it immediately, but that one ball now on the Malaysian side is in kind of neutral territory. It's going to be a pain for them to deal with. And I expect Hashimoto, as long as he can, is going to try to guard it, make it really tough for Gunting to get there. But Gunting doing the throw with one, and on the follow-through, scoop it up off the floor.
One of the best plays, especially when you have a ball in no man's land.
Okay, good dodging coming out. Gunting trying to misdirect with the throw bit. There's that bend on the shot from Hashimoto that you mentioned, going to his right. Just veering off the path.
Yeah, the Malaysians can't hear us, but if they go to the left on their dodges.
Oh, and there's a beautiful drop shot out of Gunting to take out Simos. Hashimoto doesn't have much in hand. Okay, now he's able to arm himself. Malaysia just one in hand. Gunting now sends one to his teammate.
Yeah, heads up play from Gunting to collect that ball when Hashimoto's dealing with his own.
Good court IQ, as mentioned before, but now nope. Hashimoto decides to take that shot toward Gunting instead. He's using all his space very well, and then Carlos Gunting just wants to make sure he stays back. He doesn't feel free to come up and take an easy shot. Does that drop again out of Gunting? That release looks more casual from him as he curves it downward. He's got to check the line behind him and just make sure. Wong's ball misses. Hashimoto comes up and attacks back at him.
And I'm a little surprised to not see Malaysia invest 2 balls trying to hit Hashimoto, but maybe they're hoping he would be enticed to come up towards the middle line and they could pinch him, but he is showing no intent to do so.
Yeah, he's playing a very disciplined game. They send 2 this time. He comes up. Gunting sends a second and gets him. So that time, maybe they were just waiting. They're waiting till they see those shots, because as Hashimoto came up, Gunting sends his second ball in and finally takes down the American player. And timeout called.
Definitely a high IQ moment. He chose an opportunity in which Hashimoto made himself bigger to let go of his shot. It lands, and that secures the point. Now we are looking at a 2-2 scoreline. I mean, how much closer can it get? It can't. It can't.
It feels appropriate for the circumstances.
And this is what we want. We never want a final that's looking at it like a blowout.
Yeah, it's a bit less fun, obviously. At least for us, and probably for most of you watching at home. Letting you know a little bit about how these teams got here. You have to say that these 2 teams were the most dominant in their men's groups overall in the round robin. Malaysia finishing 5 wins, no losses or draws. They were plus 85 in just 5 matches.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And the Americans, arguably more disgusting, they were 4-0 and plus 73 with no points against them, according to the standings, in 4 matches.
Wow. So even though the Americans had 1 game less, they were around 12 points below them. That makes sense. A lot of our top teams were winning around 12-0s in the round robin.
Yep, Team USA and Team Malaysia not particularly challenged during the round robin.
But they both were definitely challenged in the semis. Maybe Malaysia a little more so, had a very tight game against the Australians.
That's right, it was a 9-7 edge after all was said and done. That was the last step on their journey here to the gold medal match.
And we've talked about it before, the United States played Canada. The first half certainly close, the second half not so much. And that is a great cross shot out of the middles to hit 2 Malaysian players.
USA doing their own work to disguise those shots super well. Giovenko is now in the middle for Team USA. He's the one who lets it go. The counter comes in. It's great decision-making on both sides, but Hashimoto is the only one lost in this exchange.
And that is a big out for the United States.
Leah target, and then the return shot. Barbo taken out. Simos as well.
And they're calling out Sam for a middle line violation.
Yeah, so that's why Simos is still in there.
There's going to be a discussion from the refs on whether or not Pham released his ball before he crossed the middle line and hit Simos. And we're seeing a lot of high volume, quick pace counters from both these teams. These are teams that are comfortable taking opportunity shots. They want to take them frequently because the respective opponent is very hard to hit on both sides. And it's going to be very fast flurries for us to commentate, Terry.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. Both of these teams very comfortable playing the pressure and the counter pressure game. Everybody on both sides seems to have an arm able to do it. I mean, that is kind of what you expect from the top two men's teams in the world.
And we do see the refs say it is going to be a hit on Simos.
And these teams, the last 3 gold medals in men's have all been won by one of these teams. Malaysia got the last one in 2022. Before that, the United States. And before that, Malaysia again. They have a track record of success.
Does that mean we're due for a U.S. win if we keep the pattern going?
No, I haven't looked back far enough to divine the numbers, but Isidro Perez taking out a long-range shot, doing the work there. Li Sheng-Tae out there again. He gets a hit.
And Giovenko came very close to that sideline. No call made, but the ref is saying there was a middle line violation.
Giovenko, a veteran of this Team USA squad. But he's going to face down 2. And referees, I think, confirming that a lower body hit got thrown to Giovenko. So Malaysia gets that point after all.
Just finding his Achilles heel.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that the first time I've made you groan, Terry?
I tried to keep the groan out of my voice, but I thought it. And I'm okay with it.
I'll take that as a victory.
Yes, those quick strikes favoring Malaysia again on this one. Sometimes, though, they're getting close enough to that center line. They've lost a few players to just being a little bit too close. Good hesitation and shot off the rush. Sheng skips his shot just short of Barbo. And we get another pause.
And this is the first time in this match we are going to see the tournament MVP. You hear the chant starting. It's the mop.
Are we going to get a double mop? No, the mop head is not picked up, and now they're going to have to do it by hand on the USA side.
Terry, there was an Australian retriever yesterday. He wielded mop heads on each hand and then came onto the court and started doing what I can only describe as downward dog dancing with both mop heads to try to clean up a mess. It was the most entertaining thing I've seen. It was very similar to the AUS breakdancing in the Olympics.
Power stancing mops. And now as we get back in, Team USA going to take their time on that one. Hashimoto's ball misses toward the right side. Oh, there's a beautiful one getting through onto Clark Oden.
Just misses Giovenko.
Yeah, that ricochet looking dangerous, but
and
there's a return, though, from Giovenko himself.
Lee making a great block against Simos.
It is slightly slow and quiet, but for how long? No, it didn't take long. Simos hit out. He trades with Lee.
And what a fantastic shot from Gunting to try to cover his teammate, but also survive. Unfortunately, Lee was still hit, but he made them pay for it.
Yeah, and that's a huge part. Even if you can't prevent the damage, sometimes just making sure that you take advantage of that window. And you make sure these throwers know that as soon as they let it go, they have to be on their guard. They're going to be a target. Gunting, one of the smartest players we've seen in the recent World Championships, showing it off again. It's the shot from the right side. Sheng's ball missing. Giovenco's return missing as well. Everybody just a little bit off right now. Ooh, nice dodging. See these players flying all over the court, getting out of the way of those shots sometimes. There's a hit. Shota Barbo taken down on the shot by Pham. Fans trying to rally the two remaining players out there. Hashimoto, Giovenco come to the line.
The United States making the conservative choice, only throwing one.
Okay, but Pham gets through again. He's done a lot of damage out of the corner.
And you have to assume a pinch is coming. But there's no opportunity.
Yeah, Hashimoto so far has shown he's very willing to play it safe. As we often say, he's got the arm to back it up from the back line. Oh, and he's got the catching chops too.
And that is the error that we've been seeing from Malaysia. They're so willing to only throw one, even when they're in the player advantage. And it lines up Hashimoto perfectly for a catch.
And I think we just see a double. I saw the hit onto the middle. It looks like it got Gunting as well in the back corner. Referee Case Chandler making the call clear to Team USA. And that's right before we get to no blocking. So if I've read that correctly, we go into no blocking. Pham still out there for Malaysia. Clark Oden had just been caught on by Hashimoto. There's a connection. Clark Oden gets through, and Team USA gets the last point of the half. And obviously the turnaround there was when Hashimoto was willing to drop a ball square up to a shot and just it stuck to him.
Yeah, we're seeing an interesting development here where I think I have already touched on it, but the U.S., when they are in a player advantage, are willing to aggressively throw a majority ball. So if they have, 4 balls, instead of just throwing 2 on an opponent, they can throw 3. Or when they have 3 balls, they designate 2 balls onto one target. Because if they can hit that secondary target, suddenly you're in a 1v4, 5, 6, and that's a lot easier to manage. Malaysia was in that advantage, and they only chose to throw 1. And I don't know if it was a miscommunication, but from the pattern I've been seeing, they've been so comfortable throwing solos, they think that's all they need. And Hashimoto reading that perfectly, dropping his ball, going for it. And so if I had to give any adjustment to the defending champions of the world, which who am I to do so?
As one does give that advice, yep.
Right? It's so easy to be a coach from the sidelines. They got to be a little more aggressive with their ball distribution when they're in that player advantage.
Yeah, and maybe at least mixing that in a bit more might help them deter a play like what Hashimoto went for there. And I mean, full credit to him. You could see that it was a very intentional choice. He read that was one ball coming in a timing and a placement that he'd have a chance at. And still hard to catch, obviously. Like, we can see from this level that these throws are coming in with incredible amounts of speed and movement. So, I mean, he still has to make a great play. Nothing to take away from those Malaysian throws, but yeah, you can maybe, if you're Team Malaysia, you might be able to stop him from having that chance. Force him to make a play with 2 balls coming at him instead of just the 1.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the United States is a team that loves to catch.
Yes.
They love a good power moment where they get that flex afterward and someone's coming back in, slapping them on the back, hyping them up, and they're going to look for that. Malaysia, not so much a catching team. They're very dodge focused, and it's gotten them this far. It's a skill I like to lean into as well, and it's very successful for them. But they have to be mindful that the United States is looking at that solo throw option, and they're seeing an opportunity for a catch.
And yeah, you're right, though. The Malaysian squad has been elite for years at the dodging and blocking. That's their wheelhouse, and you almost wonder if maybe that's what they're used to. They're not as used to dealing with catches on the other side, potentially. Flip side for the Americans, maybe they're more used to being aware of throwing those balls in a way that can't be caught as easily. You know, it obviously feels like it's easier to play against what you're used to either doing or facing. So what you're training against or who you're training with could matter a lot, too, for what these teams decide to do in the moment.
And it's worth noting, a lot of the United States players play multiple ball types.
True.
And so catching in other ball types is actually sometimes easier. They have that confidence behind that skill that makes them more likely to reach for it in foam.
That's right, cloth players. Halen Sky is saying catching way easier in cloth.
Well, unless it's what do we call it? Jumping over the line,
Right.
a leap of faith.
Leap of faith, yep.
Yes. That certainly closes the gap and makes it a lot easier. But in general, a bigger ball, going to be an easier catch.
I'm inclined to agree.
The last seconds before we head into the second half of the four-man big fight.
All right, we've had the MC out on the court a little bit, helping to rile up the crowd. Speaking a little bit more to how these teams have made it all the way to this level of playoffs. Malaysia opened the playoffs against Ivory Coast, a newcomer to the WDBF Championships.
Actually, they opened up against England.
That was after.
Well, England was the show. Oh, are we talking about playoffs specifically?
Just
My
playoffs.
apologies, Terry.
That's all good. But you're right. I think the England-Malaysia was featured on stream.
Day one.
Malaysia with a 14-1 in that one over England before that. Incredibly close match against Australia, which was a 9-7 victory. On the other side, the United States over Colombia in their first one. And then an 11-3 win over New Zealand, one of my favorite squads in this tournament. Following that incredible comeback, 8-3 final over Canada before now meeting Malaysia here in the gold medal match. There's a shot off the rush. Clark Oden's ball blocked again by Pham, who is shadowing Lee on that right corner at the moment. Long shot again by Simos. Lee, big fakes. Lovey's kicking up the back leg too to just sell the fake coming through. Sheng's ball missing. Again, it's slow, but for how long?
Not long, Terry. Not long.
2 quick kills onto the left corner from Team USA. Sheng the first. Au the second. The crowd now cheering. Long range tries. Again, everybody, you can't take your eyes off anybody on the other side, it feels like, as those shots can come at any point. Barbo's ball. He's driven back now. Gunting trying a snapshot, but yeah. That
ball rolls out onto the U.S. side. It should have been Malaysian possession. And Lee gives up the 5th, which can be a devastating error.
And if the other team is hitting, that's going to make it extra dangerous, but Lee survives. Good dodge on his part. Ooh, there's another try.
Yes, they got very lucky with that. Great dodging on this side. And Pham with a fantastic hit on Simos.
Yeah, once again, he's done so well out of the corner, just hitting those shots through blockers. Team USA on their guard now, facing those 4 throwers.
Giovenko barely staying within bounds.
And his ball bends the way Gunting was dodging, taking him out.
Yeah, that ball would have missed if Gunting actually stood still.
That's why they like to bend on these shots. Return shots coming through. Dylan Cruz, the target pops up. Let's go. Gets up. And after all that, Team USA still has 4 balls. 2 of them going over to Huang. That great low movement from him keeps him on the court. That one popping up off Lee, who tries to get there, but it's too far. I like the movement from Huang, just willing to kind of let go a throw. He gets close to that ball that he's going to pick up. Giovenko with the hops.
And I wonder, are we going to see an aggressive choice from the U.S. here? Nope, just one throw.
Yeah, they have the player edge. They can play it out multiple different ways. Well, that shot from Barbo comes really close to the feet, but Pham gets to return fire onto Cruz. Giovenko trying his own drop shot there. Malaysia to the line now. And Huang's ball gets through. Giovenko slaps his own hand as he heads off. Probably not intending a high five for himself. Looks a little frustrated, but great throw coming out of Huang.
Certainly never feels good to get out on a solo throw when you have a blocking ball.
Yeah, it always feels like you should be able to block it, but these throws are pretty tough to actually block. There's one coming out of the middle. Team USA taking out Huang after quite a few attempts, so just dealing with Pham now.
And that is a great shot from Pham. Clark Oden with a very aggressive move, trying to trade, but he misses.
So I think he hit, but I think the ball that hit him was eliminating, did take him out of play before his ball got out of his hand. So
You're taller than me, Terry, so I trust your perspective on that.
that extra couple inches of height making all the difference. Cruz just missing. Pham steps up, returns onto Barbo.
And Pham showed phenomenal survivability there. But what do you do when you can't hit someone? You catch their
Just
throw.
catch it, yeah. That's all, just catch it. Shoto Barbo with the celebration as he pulls that one in, finally finishing off Pham.
And that's 2 sets that the U.S. have closed with a catch.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen a catch out of Team Malaysia yet.
No, and it's not super likely. They don't put themselves at the risk for it. It's more so a reactionary need or a team catch when they're trying to save someone.
Yeah, it's not like we haven't seen this squad make catches. It's just, like you said, it's not their go-to necessarily. And so the Americans with the edge right now. 14 minutes to go in this match. There's another shot. Clark Oden with a hit and then a catch of his own. He seems happy about it. There's a try. Shun's in the match. Barbo taken out on the counter. Point blank, Giovenko just, I mean, you have to light up an opponent in the gold medal match there, but Gunting taken out with a hard shot to the chest. Team USA is fired up right now, and they come out firing again.
But that is a great backline counter from Zun.
Taking out 2. Cruz and Simos taken out. And what do we got here? Mop,
Oh, and it's a mop.
Yeah. See a little hip wiggle there?
Yeah, the U.S. player enjoying his duty. The crowd loves it. I don't know if you've seen the dodgeball meme yet, Terry, but they did Photoshop a gold medal around a mop on the ground.
I mean, it seems like if you're going to do a meme for this event, that's a top candidate. I'm not sure. I don't think we had a timeout. I think the referees just now talking to the coach from the Malaysian side.
Certainly seems like Coach Kent is animated about something.
Yeah, Kent Lau in there talking things over. We've got ref Jack Pavone explaining things.
And often we see that these kinds of stoppages kind of break momentum for a team. But when you have music going on like this, kind of gives you a moment to have a break, get a dancey dance going on.
Feel like it's keeping the energy up a little bit.
Absolutely. And if you're like a player who maybe gets a little hot-headed, something like this going on in the background can really chill you out.
Yeah, we've got
and we see Coach Kent come and talk to his players, explaining something.
okay, so looks like the huddle has broken, or is it? Now the American coach is getting involved as well.
And I think we need to get Ref Pavone a mic.
Yeah, that's right. Let us know what's going on in there.
Can we just get a designated person from the commentary team to be able to sit in on each of these huddles? And is the U.S. coach a full suit?
I think both of them are, because
Oh my gosh, you're right.
yeah, you can see Stidham, a former Team USA player himself, is over there. He's not part of the huddle right now, but he's watchfully looking in.
They all look so dapper. You see Zun keeping his feet moving.
Yeah, and I do like this from him too. I mean, you've got to pause and play. You've been warmed up. You were in the thick of it not long ago at all, and you're going to be thrown back into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it. Yeah, you got to stay ready. And it looks like it's going to be a 2v2 coming back into this set. 13 minutes, 34 seconds on the clock.
Okay, good lateral motion again from Lee. Players sizing each other up. We get a USA chant from the crowd. Team Malaysia thought they had a hit, but that seems like a block instead. Clark Oden fighting cover for that shot toward Lee. Giovenko backing up and on the ready. He's the target this time. Sometimes the best dodge is just a nice, quick step to the side. Giovenko goes straight ahead this time. Jean with a good block. There's a good one again. Lee on target, but the blocking ball is ready. Team USA faking. They made it clear, I thought, that they were looking toward Lee, but who it was going to be and when, well disguised. Clark Oden just missing. That one goes up and at him and off the shoulder. He looked for the catch there.
Yeah,
what you were saying again.
fantastic placement from Lee to not put it anywhere in that pocket.
The shoulder's a really tough place to make those catches from. So
Yeah, you got a lot of dense muscle and or bone right there. It's perfect for ricochet. Hard for absorption.
a lot of scar tissue in the case of some of us too, from years of throwing these. Giovenko sending in those balls from a safe distance again because Shun and Lee are ready.
And this is the situation I'm talking about, Terry. I would love to see 2 balls be thrown by Malaysia in this scenario.
Yeah, I know Giovenko has quite a few different angles he can send that ball in from, a couple of different curves, so he's going to be willing to play it safe, get those shots in, try to get them on and around the blocker.
And it's very interesting that Zun and Lee are almost like staying close to each other when approaching the line. rather than breaking apart for optimal angles on both sides. I wonder if it's a protection method.
Yeah, it is interesting because I feel like the conventional wisdom in our dodgeball scenes is often to stay spread out, give them more to worry about from more angles. Good movement. Giovenko pops up, just missing on his return shot, but Lee settles back with his teammate, and they're going to talk it over again. That time it was Jean letting it go.
And you see Giovenko holding 3 balls, but letting go of 2 of them as the throws come in. When those balls are out of his hand and falling, if one of the throws had come in and hit that ball, it's dead. So it is a bit of an extra defense.
That's right. And if you're wondering why he doesn't just hold the third one between the other 2, I believe that can be disarm. So don't want to give that type of hit up. Lee and John switching sides this time, and they get the clip at long last. Giovenko can't dodge that last one.
He got a lot of height in that jump, but not high enough.
We've seen the man backflip on court. We know he can jump, but Malaysia had enough shots on him with their 2 players still on the court that they take him down off the ball from Lee.
And that was very patient play out of Malaysia as well. They weren't allowing for opportunities of chaos. They just took their time, relied on what they knew, and made their shots. And now there is another discussion happening, potentially with the captains brought in, as I see Ao and Hashimoto.
Yeah, we have reps from everybody in there right now.
And now we see Malaysian retrievers and coach with the mops, giving it a once-over.
I wonder if any people feel like their dry mopping skills have leveled up while they've been here.
I would really hope so. Imagine you came home and your partner just, it's cleaning day for both of you. And then suddenly you're such a better mopper. And they'd be like, where'd you learn that? Oh, the World Dodgeball Championships.
I was in Austria.
Just casually.
That's right. For some teams, if they don't come home with a medal, they can have one of those T-shirts that says, I came home from the World Dodgeball Championships, and all I got was this lousy dry mop. So whatever the conversation was over on the left side this time, it seems wrapped up. We've got just under 10 minutes remaining in the match, and it's pretty close. 4-4 still.
We get a nice little cheer out of the Malaysian men. We see Lee is actually taking a seat.
Yes, indeed. Malaysia's kept fairly steady with the lineup. They haven't disrupted things too much on any given point. Same with the American squad. Oh, look at the dodging from Gunting. He's fired up. Yeah, it's not just hits and catches that'll do it. It is dodges sometimes, too.
This game is called Dodgeball.
Good
and that's a team
shot.
throw out of Malaysia because
Two
they
balls.
had the man advantage, and it's paying off.
That ball from Simos, just nice. Full commit to the sideways dodge from John again.
Oh, and Gunting also almost makes the catch, but Barbo's throw just came in with such heat.
Yeah, and Gunting's been so good on this point anyway. Bam gets a shot, but he gets taken out as well. Team USA firing back.
Wong thinks he hit Barbo.
Shang taken out on that ball, but Hashimoto straight ahead that time. It's Barbo's ball this time. Shun Lim comes up. He's taken out, though. Simos gets under a quick counter. Huang, though, not going to let him get to that ball. Maybe a little bit too liberal with the run up for the ball that time from Simos. Huang ready to make him pay.
Yeah, that ball in no man's land actually cost 2 lives with Zhang and Simos.
Yeah, oh, and Huang taking out that ball, popping up where his teammate had no play. Great shot by Ao, though, to take out Giovenko, who didn't have anything to protect himself with. Barbo coming out, Hashimoto attack, great jump. This time Barbo pulls it in. He was sitting down, daring the catch to come in. And he had to make the second effort, but he got it.
And I'm starting a tally officially, Terry. That is the 3rd set finished by the USA with a catch.
We did get a look back at some great dodging out of Gunting.
And what a heads up play in that replay, actually. Gunting getting eliminated, but kicking the ball as he falls out so it goes back towards his team's side so they can collect it.
Yeah, that's a little thing you don't see the opportunity for it to come up very often. Again, we mentioned he's a very high IQ player. We've seen him on this, anchoring this Malaysian squad for many years now. He's been a standout player, a very smart player. He's been a world champion multiple times. We got some Malaysia chants now coming in.
And I actually see Team England cheering for Malaysia.
And that's some New Zealand players over there as well, cheering for Malaysia. From the same geographic quadrant, I guess, of the globe.
You gotta wonder too. I'm always of the mindset of, well, the team that eliminated me, I want them to win because I can say, oh yeah, the world champions knocked me out.
Yeah, it soothes the ego a little bit.
Just a tad. It's copium at its finest.
Barbo gets Pham, who again earlier in the match we saw him hit repeatedly out of the corner, so that is a great take by Shota Barbo. Sean Lim takes the corner again. Lee is in that opposite corner, as we expect for Malaysia. He is a target this time. Firing back, we get some 1-for-1 tries. Oh, there, and just like a late trailer shot.
And Go's throw had so much movement as it hit Simos. That was no straight shot for him to try to catch.
It's so hard to get your hands to follow those with the late break. That time it's Hashimoto going straight ahead again. Lee went up, but he comes down eliminated. Go again with so much dip on that ball. Ooh, everybody's fine. Okay.
Oh, and they are calling Gunting out. I did not see the hit.
Thankfully, he didn't take out his teammate. Go seems to be totally fine, as does Gunting, but center line now for Barbo. At least I think that was center line. Maybe he wasn't all the way up there yet, though.
I think it might have been back or side because it was the line ref that was making the call.
Very fair. Either way, he's off. Team USA still has 4. Malaysia's got 3. Go's got that kind of wide out delivery. It seems to be able to get a lot of top spin on the ball. Malaysia to the line again. Go gets a shot.
And that is one of the best ways to counter against strong catchers. Making sure that you don't throw straight on shots. You want to have the ultimate cross angles. Giovenko just bringing his fingers in.
That Go has been a target now. He's come into this match and he's been able to throw people out. Fresh arm, but a great arm, more importantly.
Yeah, smart changeup from the Malaysian coach.
Good block from him, too. He's getting that blocker ball right down in front of himself. Now he's going to switch over to the right side, facing off against Cruz. Once again, that ball had a lot of bend off to the right. Cruz returning fire into the middle. Team Malaysia gets to set up again. Looks like Go taking a lot of their shots when they're setting up, but that one popping up into the waiting arms of Giovenko. Hashimoto bailed out by his teammate. Simos back on the court.
And that's great awareness from Giovenko to be ready for that.
They spend 3 balls in on Go. There's that multi-ball attack you love pointing out.
It's the fastest way to close a point when you're in these tricky scenarios. A 2 against 4 is very doable, but America says we don't even want to deal with a 2v4. Let's just have a 1v4. And we see Zhang go for that very rare catching position from the Malaysian team.
I think that's got to be partly because it's down to 3 minutes. If they fall down by 2, which, you know, nothing against Shun Lim here, but you are facing 4 on the other side. It's going to be tough to bring it back. He's willing to give them all the balls, and yeah, he just steps out.
And that's such a smart choice from the Malaysian player. They want the time to set this up, but I have to note, Terry, Malaysia has to win this point before 30 seconds are left on the clock.
That's right. That is the way the no blocking rule has worked in this tournament. When we are in the final minute of a half, when the point ends, they're going to take a 30-second runoff. And as long as there's still time left, we will start with a rush after that.
And Malaysia rightfully pointing out that the clock is being wasted.
Yeah, so Malaysia is going to fight for this point quickly. Team USA very aware of that, but they're going to use as much time as they can, force Malaysia to do it in as little as they will possibly have. These first shot misses, and so every ball Malaysia misses with is basically 8 or 9 seconds that the Americans probably get off the clock.
Exactly, and we see the clock reaching a minute 45, but realistically it's about a minute 15 for Malaysia. I've been having so much fun, Terry, that I didn't even notice we were so late in the second half.
Well, that's a good sign. Okay, Giovenko just tries a no look. It is toward Lee. Okay, they get one hit, but they get a catch. Cruz was taken out, but the catch immediately following him. But I don't think he was all the way off the court, so I don't think he's able to come back in.
Yeah, I think he tried to exit to the queue. Well, okay, so the rule is you have to exit to the queue before re-entering.
Yes.
So, Cruz gets hit, exits, then came back on before going to the queue, then tried to go back to the queue, then came back on, and I think the refs are correct in this. That's too many steps on and steps off.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw the hit again on the replay. Great shot by Go again. Just so much movement on his ball, making it almost impossible for Cruz to make a clean catch.
Malaysia has about 35 seconds to try to eliminate all these players.
Oh, it's a good start. No, not quite. I thought Pham had been able to squeeze that.
I thought he had it too.
And again, I think that's exactly tactically the right adjustment to try and make. Look for some of those catches. Those are the things that'll swing a point in these moments if you haven't been able to hit them. The Americans are not giving them any easy hits. They're just sitting back.
No, and we are in the last 7 seconds of essentially regulation. And at this point, the United States have secured the gold medal, but we will finish out this point.
We'll see if it gets a little more chaotic now that it matters less. Nonchalant exiting of the court from some of the players who were taken out there by the USA.
Yeah, they don't care that at this point.
They have done their work. And that'll do it. The whistle goes. Team USA secures the win. They are your champions. The 2024's Dodgeball World Championships.
And I gotta say, Terry, I've been against it all tournament. But catches win matches in this case. The United States closing several sets with them, and that really was the difference maker for their play against Malaysia. They were so even in that countering game against each other, often just being up 4 players to 3 players or 2 players to 1 over and over and over again. So whenever the U.S. made that catch, it immediately put them in that 2-body advantage that we didn't see a whole lot during the duration of this game.
Yeah, exactly. And even though here we see them with those balls that are very difficult to catch, but if you want to talk about what the differences were, where the USA found their edge, I feel like it's got to be the catches. That's the most obvious thing to look at, where they came up big against their opponents, and Malaysia didn't quite have the answers for it.
And I think that's such a play style, rock, paper, scissors moment that we've talked about a little bit throughout this week. Malaysia's so dependent on those solo throws, and for the most part, it is so efficient. They get so many hits with only one ball, and that's the dream. You don't want to have to use multiple balls all the time to get people out. But the United States, so prepared for those solo shots, they want to see solos coming in. It makes it easier for them to dodge. It gives them that catching option, and we see that success. And congratulations to the United States on their gold medal as they go over to the fans, and they are eating this up.
Team Malaysia still huddling a bit on the court, keeping the spirits up because, I mean, they were amazing in this tournament. Every time I got to watch their squad flying around the court, it was a treat, and you're seeing the appreciation from the fans toward them as well.
Oh, such a fun team to watch. I will always turn on a game that involves some Malaysian men, and as much as we miss them, the Malaysian women too. This country knows how to play dodgeball, and they will be back with a vengeance, I'm sure, in 2026.
And we will be back with another gold medal match before too long. We're going to give time for this court to clear off. But yeah, we've still got a whole bunch more gold medal matches today. I believe it's the women up next.
I thought it was men's cloth.
We should probably know this, but we'll find out.
I do believe it is going to be men's cloth, and then we will be going into women's foam.
All right. Either way, lots of top quality matches still to come here at the World Dodgeball Championships in Graz, Austria. I'm Terry Thrasher.
I'm Alan Sky.
And we hope you'll be back with us for the next one.